Karen Chovan, I'm the CEO and founder of Enviro Integration Strategies, and our mission is to prevent catastrophic waste failures. There's an estimated 20,000 plus tailings facilities around the world, plus a number of other infrastructure, and an average of 2 to 3 serious failures every single year somewhere in the world. There are a lot of challenges related to these waste infrastructures. They're very large ecosystems of information and influences on the structural integrity, and they're complex and unique facilities, every single one of them. There are a lot of people involved throughout the life cycle of these facilities, both internally and externally, and a lot of people who leave over time because these are lifelong facilities. We're essentially building new landforms. As well, there's a lot of information that just gets stored in all kinds of different formats and in a lot of different places. And it gets very difficult to assess the risks of those facilities without access to that information. We also have a very large demand now on transparency of what we're doing from the investment community and how we're managing things. So there's a push to implement new standards and apply all of these new, more rigorous risk management processes. So just to go back on Enviro Integration Strategies, we are focused on risk management. We have developed a risk governance platform that is to bring everything into one hub. And we also provide risk management consulting to complement that, and just trying to give mining executives the decision-making tools to help prevent those failures. This is what are some of the snapshots of what comes out of our platform. It is really essentially that overall hub, so you have one source of truth for the organization and not just asset by asset knowing what's going on. We did build this in collaboration with Agnico Eagle Mines, so it's not just an idea off the shelf. They've been using it for the past couple of years already, and have filled some gaps that they found, but they really wanted to be able to use that information and use it to communicate better with their management and help justify where they wanted to spend their money. So it has 5 essential capabilities right now, and that's the consolidation of information into that one hub, being able to equivalently and consistently compare all of these different facilities, being able to use that information to identify gaps and uncertainties, to build those risk remediation plans and prioritize where it needs to be done first, and then use the information to effectively communicate up and down the chain, as well as facilitate audits, reviews, and updates over time. So I'll just walk through very quickly some of the different things. So within the technical knowledge base, we would envision bringing in all of those documents, the designs, the studies, the operations management systems, everything about the infrastructure, so you have access to that if and when you ever need it. Looking at 45 different criteria where we assess the health and maturity of the systems and comparing that to best practices, as well as converting that to a risk rating. So we're walking through all the different hierarchy of controls of risks when we walk through those different criteria. Conversion of the risks or that maturity rating into a risk rating so that you can, in a snapshot, see how those compare, and moving beyond that 5x5 risk matrix that most companies use with more granularity, so you can use that for decision making. And some more visuals that do help with the communications. When we first presented it to Agnico's management group, they were amazed. They got it right away. So it was really a good moment for me to have shared that with them. And then just more snapshots to say, you know, everything is in that one hub, so you can actually drill down into the information to find where you have gaps and why they're rated the way they are, and so on, to develop those plans. Now, where we differ from a lot of the companies out there is that a lot of solutions are for tailings facilities and particularly in monitoring them, but we're looking at that proactive side of things. What can we do to reduce the risk before we're out there just monitoring and reacting to what's happening, what the instruments are showing. We're looking at that overall governance system for the organization and not just for one single asset. Again, the opportunity is huge. We are, as we have such a high demand for all of these minerals going forward, and lower grades, there's just more and more volume of waste materials that will be produced. And our tool is applicable to any of those infrastructure anywhere around the world. As well, we can apply this to other geo infrastructure, so it's not just applicable for tailings, it's good for water management facilities, waste rock piles, and also even heap leach facilities. So anything that has a similar type of risk in the geo infrastructure world. We are aligned with the governance standards that have come out, and we are customizable without having to code for each individual company or infrastructure. So we just set up the system to report on how many facilities they have at each site and so on as we onboard the organization. Now, where we're moving things is shifting it to a plug-and-play platform so that we can work with other software platforms that companies are already using, because we found when we went out to sell that some companies say, oh, we already have this functionality, or we already have that. So they want to plug in what we have and gain that additional value of an all-in-one platform. So our roadmap moving forward is this year, we're taking that platform that we have, converting it to a more modular system, adding in the document management system, a compliance and risk management platform where we can actually track progress on all the actions and gaps we find, looking at those multiple standards that are out there and cross-referencing our evaluation criteria to that. We also want to look at how we can apply machine learning and AI for companies to learn from their own documentation and not have to spend hours finding things. Learning from that, and then in the long run, with permissions granted, maybe across the industry, we can start to benchmark and start to see where there are trends, where are the best practices, where are the common causes, where are the things that make us fall down. And then we have lots of other options to move forward in terms of functionality, and we're waiting for the market to help us define which things to prioritize within that subset. So, yeah, we're just, now we're looking for partners, mainly. We have funding, thankfully, to MICA as well as IRAP, and we're looking for companies to start helping us use the platform and learn from it, learn how to improve it, and what else. So, here.